All right. So I think we should be live right now, and hopefully everything goes smoothly on stream. Oops. I have my small kitten here sleeping on my freaking desk. So, ladies and gents, today we're going to be taking a look at Ghost of Yotei. Of course, 20 minutes of gameplay. According to Sony's newest state of play, we're going to see in about 15 minutes. So, I'm actually excited about this one. I've been a huge fan of the first Ghost of Tsushima. I've absolutely loved it, as well as its expansion and also the Legends mode. So, this is like one of my highest anticipated games of all time. And to be honest, I cannot wait to jump in and see what we have in the new game. Like, I want to see what changed in terms of the new combat, some of the new systems. I'm looking forward to some of the new weapons. Maybe Sucker Punch will show them a bit more. We've seen there's quite a few options over here, like I think that's a Naginata here at some point, or Nagakiba. I'm not really familiar with the full naming and whatnot, but here it is, the spear. There's also like the sickle, and I believe at some point there were double katanas. So all in all, looks really sweet. Plus maybe also that wolf companion that we also kinda were able to play with a similar mechanic in Ghost of Tsushima Legends. So to be honest, I'm beyond excited. These are, by the way, the old trailers. We're gonna, of course, jump into the new gameplay in the state of play in 20 minutes, but probably it's going to be at the end of the state of play because, yeah, it's gonna be 1 hour long. So we may see some other stuff. Also, everybody in the chat, thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you're going to enjoy your stay and also enjoy this stream too. So with a few more minutes, I do want to go ahead and let me actually check out a bunch of stuff. We're going to put out some gameplay in the background and just let it play. Right now, I just put it on mute. But there were a few things that I kind of liked in the trailers and I wanted to see more of. Besides the story, I want to see how we actually get the wolf companion. Because it's kind of looking like it's going to be a wolf companion that also attacks others. Otherwise, graphics, I haven't seen much changes from the old trailers that they put out until now, so I'm not sure about that. Maybe some new, yeah, some new weather effects, probably, like I'm seeing something new, but old ones are also coming back as well. So like the full on 12 o'clock sunshine, and also I believe, yeah, we also had like the blue flowers and whatnot, but the overcast, like this weather effect in Ghost of Tsushima, this was like the most common of them all. If you play the game, you already know that this was spawning all the time. But yeah, beyond excited for this Cedric map. I'm clearing pit 109 minutes. How can I get to 120 130 plus pits? Dude, I haven't played this season of Diablo 4, so my apologies. I cannot help you on that side. So yeah, second part of this game, what? Uh, oh, you mean of the first Ghost of Tsushima? Do you think we'll see another unexpected game? I'm not really sure what we're gonna see in this state of play. I'm not gonna lie. They've been teasing some bits here and there, but I don't really care about anything other than this. Like, literally, this is the biggest highlight for me. Maybe Phantom Blade Zero. I would love to see more of that, but I don't know. Wait, the second parts in this game was boring because there was no new mechanic. Oh, you mean in the first Ghost of Tsushima? I think there were some mechanics because you were unlocking some of the legendary... You were unlocking some legendary powers all the way into the third map, which was the snow map. But yeah, those weren't like major or anything, so you were still kind of playing the same. You just had two more abilities by that point. Unless we're talking about some of the stronger armors you could get via the legends, or well, legendary trays. God, I forgot what it was. Like Legendary Tales. Yeah, that was it. Just like AC Shadows. Oh, female ninja samurai want to take revenge on masked villains because they killed her family. Wasn't that like literally... What the hell is this? Oh, why do I have CoffeeZilla, dude? Why the hell is CoffeeZilla on my freaking Ghost of Yotei video? Like literally that was the plot of the first Ghost of Tsushima as well. So it was exactly the same. Your family got murdered and you went on to revenge and avenge your father and basically also save your uncle. That was basically it. And on the way he was giving you lessons about staying on the path of the samurai, but you also kind of noticed that it's so much easier to freaking go in as a ghost and take down everybody.
The spider. The dragon. Lord Saito.
Yeah, let's see them cook for a minute. Let's see what they do with this.
What are we going to do with this one, Saito?
Like the time period looks interesting. It's like 1600s. We also have firearms.
Came to this.
There's some potential going on over there with the regions, because I think that the region right now is like much bigger. Hokkaido should be much larger, at least if they went with at least a bigger portion of it than Tsushima was. If they were to keep the proportions, so maybe at least double the size, I don't know. Maybe we could even see some bigger cities over there. I'm not sure if it's just going to be up north Japan or if it's going to drop down a little bit like center over there. There are some possibilities, but I don't know. It seems like it's focusing a lot on the Ainu.
Who is easily lost in the hunt.
Like from what we've seen from the trailer, yeah, maybe just this temple over here, that was the bigger one that we've seen, but this, we had something similar to this in the first Ghost as well. I'm not sure if we had... Did we have cherry blossom trees? I think that eventually they added... Maybe in the DLC. I don't remember. I remember the red ones, the blue flowers and whatnot, but I maybe I'm misremembering stuff. And yeah, gameplay looks the same. Well, I mean the same, but looks really good. The first had a really good feeling to it. Ghost of Tsushima is one of the few samurai games, besides maybe like Team Ninja games or maybe Souls games, that actually gives you that feeling of impact and satisfaction. I really enjoyed it right from the get-go. Like most other games out there that copy Souls genre kind of feel a bit floaty, or there's always something about the quality of the animations, but I mean Sucker Punch nailed it on the first try. Well, obviously they had a lot of experience with their previous games, and they know how to make a fun gameplay. But I do wonder what kind of weapon arts we're gonna have for these weapons, like stances and whatnot. Now we have more than just the katana. So I wonder, do they come with their own stances? Or is it that we only get 4 stances for the katana, and then we're gonna get extra weapons, but maybe not quite as complex? You know what I mean? I hope that they haven't removed the stance system from the first game, because that was so freaking fun to play with. I believe most of the country will not play when PC port releases for a second game because of PSN account required. Yeah, dude, Sony is fumbling all of their releases so much. Like, I don't know why they keep... I mean, I know why they require the freaking PSN accounts. It's so they can farm that data, baby. But yeah. 7 more minutes, by the way. 7 more minutes. And we're going live with the state of play. I hope it's not going to be a boring state of play that only has like the 20 minutes of Tsushima gameplay that's fun. What else did they show in the previous trailers? Just want to dissect it a little bit more. They kind of implied that there's a lot more going on in the open world than before. Like, open world felt a bit dead before. Because besides going to enemy camps and some of the villages that got destroyed by the Mongol invasions, you really didn't see like much going on in the wilderness. Maybe an occasional bear attack, some enemy patrols here and there, but it felt very gamey, if it makes any sense. Like, there was always the same patrol going in, the same kind of place making them spawn. You would have a lot of patches of nothing happening between them, so you would know that you were kind of moving from objective to objective. So now we're seeing like horses. I think this was one of the first trailers they shown, some horses and whatnot. I don't know, I got spoiled by not Red Dead Redemption 2, but like the Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 game really nailed some of the open world aspects. You would see a lot of stuff happening, like merchants going in, carts traveling between towns, getting ambushed. Even though here you can get ambushed as well, so it's not like I can complain. Bigger castles in the distance. This looks like a nice spot, dude. This looks like a main mission. You have to sneak in, probably have to gather intel, probably go by the side of the cliff. You go here, there's a bunch of guards. You go in ghost mode, boom, 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 assassinate, make your way up. Probably some enemy running in. I don't know. I'm just looking at the Sucker Punch mission design. Like, probably have this at the same time with some kind of army invasion, and you go in, storm in with the Ainu or whatever direction they go with, and then storm the palace, take down the big guy inside, and boom, you just unlock this plus a bunch of vendors down here. I can already sense the gameplay. Also, some of the civilized spots look a bit better. I don't know. Some of these eating like freaking locations. Did we have eating locations before? I don't think we had. We had the temple areas with merchants and people like just staying there and sometimes giving you gifts, but yeah. Obviously, Kurosawa duels. Probably legendary tales, unlocking new abilities, also having the string thingy. Maybe the protagonist here won't, I don't know, use the flute any longer. Most of the people compared the combat mechanics between AC Shadows and Tsushima. Yeah, probably. I can see why, because honestly, AC Shadows felt a little bit like a downgraded Ghost of Tsushima. Like, combat-wise, it didn't even get close to it, so probably yes. Like, back when the first trailer released for Ghost of Tsushima, there was a lot of discussion about like Sekiro comparisons. I think that there were two trailers coming out around the same time. Both of them had their trailers released around like those years, and everybody was looking at Tsushima, and that was one of the first comparisons I remember when I checked the state of play back then. All right, so let's close the tabs because we literally have a few more minutes, and we're gonna basically go with this. This is what we're going with. Let me just make it full right here. I don't really know. I don't really agree that stealth is better in AC Shadows. I think that Ghost mode in Ghost of Tsushima was really good. I just think it gave you all of the tools. The enemy AI was better. It was less janky. You could do some really awesome assassinations. Like, just check out the builds that came out in Iki Island, and you're gonna forget about AC Shadows, dude. Like, It's not even a competition. Look at the stealth runs in that game, and you're gonna be like, I don't know. I think that Ghost of Tsushima 5-6 years before AC Shadows even came out still blows it out of the water completely on every single level. Story, open world, game looks, especially gameplay, ghost mode, stealth, doesn't matter. Blows it out of the water completely. That's just my opinion. Ghost of Tsushima was a type of game that it was one of the few games that I was more than happy to replay multiple times, even when the PC version came out. And especially Legends mode, forget about it. It was really good. Had a ton of fun. I never had the same feeling of any AC games besides 1, 2, 3. That was it. Never had any feeling like that about any Assassin's Creed game besides the first 3 of them. Anyway, 60 seconds. So let's see. I think that because the chat is going on really quickly here, it's kind of causing Chrome to act up really stupidly. $60. Isn't it till like 12 already? Okay, it's 59, so we're gonna see it in just a little bit. I'm gonna give it a thumbs up, because I don't really expect Sucker Punch to miss the mark on this. Like gameplay, unless they fired 99% of their developers and did something else, like drop in, I don't know, something else, like Tetris. I'm not expecting it to be bad, to be honest. But we're gonna have to go through 45 minutes of whatever else they have on the way. Is there a Legends mode? They haven't really said much about game modes redeemed, but I imagine at some point they might want to do another multiplayer. I think that the first Legends was also a success. So maybe 1 year down the line or 6 months down the line, they may do a Legends mode, or maybe even launch with Legends mode. We'll see. I don't know. Okay, it's starting in. I'm gonna keep the level of the video balanced around the same level of my voice, so when things start up you don't hear my voice louder than whatever's happening on the screen. Soul the Kaiju, yeah, Legends mode, absolutely agreed. I had so much fun with that, and they still supported it for like a couple of years after that, which is crazy, dude. But anyway, here it is. 11 seconds.
Hello everyone, this is Jason Connell and Nate Fox from Sucker Punch Productions. Ghost of Tsushima was an honor to be a part of. And today, Nate and I get to share more about our next game, Ghost of Yotei. We'll be sharing how we've crafted the game around exploration while keeping Atsu's tale of vengeance front and center. We'll also talk about ghost combat and how it's evolved. And we'll introduce for the first time some new special modes of play. But let's start things off first by talking about a Japanese folk legend, the Onryo.
The people of Ezo believe Atsu is an Onryo, a wrathful ghost bent on revenge. And they're half right. Atsu doesn't care if she lives or dies, so long as she can punish the Yotei 6, a ruthless gang who slaughtered her family. After 16 years in the South, she's returned home to put their spirits to rest. It's warm memories of her family that propel her forward. When Atsu returns to her childhood home, with the push of a button, you can experience those cherished times. By giving you the freedom to explore Atsu's past, the wound of her loss becomes personal. It's that pain that pushes her forward. Hunting down the Yotei 6 is a near impossible task. She'll face 1,000 blades. But the Onryo is relentless, and with each victory, the ghost story around her grows.
Ghost of Yotei focuses on player freedom more than any game Sucker Punch has ever made. But it's also a game that at its heart is inspired by so many of our favorite wandering samurai films. So let's start off by talking about exploration at the edge of Japan. We all have different playstyles, so we set out to make an open world game that lets you drive your own experiences. Whether that's your curiosity to wonder, your thirst for combat, or a deep desire to stay focused on the story. As you explore, there's an underlying clue system that invites you to new adventures in new areas of the game that could be appealing to you. If you interrogate an enemy, choosing to ask about the Oni, you could uncover a landscape scarred by fire with more bold, samurai-like enemies to fight and abilities for Atsu to learn. Or, if you ask about the Kitsune, might lead you to an area filled with snow and deception, enemies that ambush you, and new ninja-like tactics to study. Atsu draws cards for each clue to keep track of all available adventures. The more you play, the more the game unfolds for you. As she makes progress against the Yotei 6, her legend as the Onryo grows.
It's her.
Bounty will go up, drawing the attention of deadlier foes.
Are you lost?
I'm looking for some old friends. The Yotei 6.
Show her the door.
There is a hefty price on Atsu's head. Now, Atsu can also hunt down her own bounties that bring her all around the land. This is a lucrative way to make some money to fuel her vengeance quest.
You're not of Clan Eguchi. You're here for my bounty.
Hidden in the world are altars of reflection. Finding one inspires Atsu and unlocks a new ability to help her on the journey ahead. They are fun to find on their own, but for a quicker route, you can always buy a traveler's map from the cartographer. Ghost of Yotei isn't going to rush you through anything. You can choose what motivates you most. But we think the best way to play is to simply pull out your spyglass, find something interesting on the horizon, and enjoy the ride.
Let's ride.
The lands around Yotei are fast. It's not about checking it all off, it's about engaging in the content that gets you excited. Embrace that curiosity and let the wind guide you on your hunt.
Ezo is a dangerous place. Atsu always wields a weapon. As for which, that's up to you. Will you choose a katana, spear, kasuragama, odachi, or dual swords? Each is uniquely effective against a particular enemy and has their own set of upgrades to discover and master.
Plant Saito banners.
Let's see how she uses these weapons in the field, searching for leads on Lord Saito.
This is our food, from our soil. The soldiers need it more to free you.
Free us. Inokichi steals our crops while our families starve.
Atsu's no samurai or ninja. No, she's a lone wolf mercenary who'll use every advantage, every dirty trick to win a fight. Combat has the feel of a classic samurai movie. Every motion counts. It's about lethal precision. If an enemy swings hard, Atsu can lose her weapon. But if she's quick, she can disarm them.
Nothing there? You're dead.
Choose the right weapon for the job. To fight a massive enemy, her huge odachi blade is best.
He looks like the one in charge.
Tonight, we feast.
Blades are great, but ranged weapons work too. And Atsu's got an arsenal.
Bounty hunter. A ghost.
Thrown weapons like kunai, bombs, or even blinding powder can give Atsu an edge. When enemies switch weapons, you'll have to adapt. Dual swords are best against spears.
No more.
Tell me what you know about Saito.
Atsu doesn't always fight alone. She'll meet several allies on her hunt, including a mysterious wolf.
Atsu can set up camp under the stars of Ezo. But she's not always alone.
Hey, friend. Share your fire with the traveling peddler?
What are you selling?
A mask said to be cursed with the unpredictable nature of its previous owner.
Camping under the stars is a great way to rest up, play your shamisen, or cook to ready for a fight ahead. It's also designed to help bring important characters and upgrades straight to you. In fact, in place of the journal menu from Ghost of Tsushima, we've opted for a more character-driven way of managing allies and vendors you meet in Ezo. Over time, Atsu grows to have her own wolf pack. And here, you can keep track of when a sensei might have a weapon skill for you, or when a vendor has something unique to sell. Managing upgrades, resources, when to buy what, can be a burden in a big open-world game. At campsites, members of your wolf pack can catch up with you, offering upgrades and unique items. This helps ensure you have every opportunity to upgrade and prepare for Atsu's vengeance quest ahead. You don't have to leave where you're exploring, the game comes to you.
While exploring Ezo, you'll discover all sorts of new armor, charms, and gear. Perfect for building up Atsu around your chosen playstyle. Are you stealth, ranged, or melee focused? Find and combine the pieces that are just right for you. And of course, customize the look of your armor and weapons to make sure that your version of Atsu looks and fights just the way you want. The score of Ghost of Yotei is incredibly special to us. Our amazing composer, Toma Otoa, has created a mashup of Eastern instrumentation with Western flavors, brought to life through an exciting collaboration of many talented artists.
でこうダウンビートまで
If you like what you heard, we're releasing 2 tracks featured in today's State of Play on your favorite streaming service immediately after the show.
The digital photography community for Ghost of Tsushima is incredible. We're happy to have photo mode back in Ghost of Yotei and look forward to seeing photos from your journey across Ezo. We want playing through Ghost of Yotei to feel like stepping inside of your favorite classic samurai films. So, from the beginning of the game, we're happy to offer a full Japanese voice track with full lip sync that you can play with subtitles.
誰だてめえ 生きてたか狼の姫一人残らず息の根止めたと思ったまた会えたな刀鍛冶の娘
覚えておけ。アツだ。
To take the feeling of stepping into a classic samurai cinema experience one step further, we are honored to once again partner with acclaimed director Akira Kurosawa's estate for Kurosawa Mode, which emulates his classic black and white films. For Ghosts of Yotei, we wanted to celebrate two other influential directors who have had an impact on the genre as a whole. First, we've partnered with Takeshi Miike, director of 13 Assassins, for a mode that puts the camera closer during combat for a more intense, raw experience along with increased mud and blood splatter. And lastly, we've partnered with the director of Samurai Champloo, Shinichiro Watanabe. Turn this mode on to listen to some original lo-fi tracks directed by Watanabe himself. There's so many ways to make your Ghost of Yotei playthrough your own. But no matter how you play, here's one way to experience Ghost of Yotei that is sure to be special.
Today, you've got a glimpse into Atsu's hunt for the Yotei 6. Forge your own path while discovering the secrets of Ezo. To survive, you'll need to master a variety of weapons, using lethal precision to overcome the odds and take revenge as the Onryo. Ghost of Yotei comes out on October 2nd. Thank you so much for watching.
All right. Fellas, I'm not gonna lie. Character aside, everything I've seen in Ghost of Yotei is all I wanted and more. Cool looking graphics, cool new weapons, the soundtrack is a baller, and it looks insane. Let me know in the chat what you think about it. Was it a W or was it an L? Because for me, my hype levels are through the roof right now, especially the combat scenes, the weapons. All of the changes to combat are exactly right up my alley, dude. I cannot wait to get my hands on the new weapons. So yes, it's the same formula. There hasn't been much change in terms of like how enemies interact with you. Some of them change weapons and whatnot, but for the most part they seem to be kind of working the same. But the way you switch to different weapons, the way you can lose the weapons, all of the new skills and abilities, it's, my god, it looks so amazing. So the new weapons are definitely the highlight for me. I wanted to check out, like, look at this. Look at the KhrazeGaming right here. Boom. Dragged it ass. Snapped him right in front of these people, whatever, and then pick up the spear. And you can throw the spear. How cool is that? Bam. Done. It's over. And then switches to the double blades. It's such a freaking cool scene. My only question is, do we still have the stances? Because something tells me there aren't enough buttons on the controller to have the stances, but also have the ability to switch to 4 different weapons. I think we have to like pause it at some point over here, because I think, yeah, let me just show like scene by scene. Right around here. Can I go like second by second? How can I go second by second? Because see, there's a split second moment over here where she switches to a different weapon. So I think we may still have the stances, but just for one of them. So it switches over here. Let me just put it to 25%. so I can actually check this out. So see, I think that they switched it now, so you actually go for different weapons. We have the Yari, which is essentially the spear. We have the katana, the double blades, and also the KhrazeGaming. And I think that this is going to be the weapon art, or actually, hold up, this is the larger... This is the larger sword that they shown. This menu is pretty much exactly the same, like all of the kunais, the smoke bombs, also setting your flame while your sword on fire. You also have a dedicated button for shooting your musket now, but I am not seeing if we have any additional sort of stances for the weapons we have. But right now, changing the weapons looks really awesome. You also have this, like, this really instantaneous, yep, pretty much instantaneous over there, how it swapped from one of the weapons to the other. So I guess that the stance is now switched to switching the weapon instead, because you have the 4 weapons instead of those, and it kind of makes up, it compensates for the fact that you don't have the different stances any longer, which I guess makes sense in the context of the new gameplay, just like that, because now it kind of features their own like weaknesses and strengths. So like they said in the footage right after this, against some of the enemies, some weapons are better than others.
The right weapon for the job. To fight a massive enemy, her huge Odachi blade is best.
Yeah, so the Odachi blade over here was much better against the larger brutes, rather than going with the small double blades, which barely do any damage. So going with the Odachi was the preferred method. So instead of going with the brute stance like how we would previously, going with the brute stance and or whatever, what was it called, like the water stance or rock, whatever, I forgot the naming of it. But essentially, this is what replaces that, from what I'm able to tell. Who knows? Maybe they found a way to do the button shortcuts or whatnot. But also really interesting is you can actually lose your weapon. So if you get hit, I think at some point, I think around here somewhere. Let's just see the ranged weapons first.
And arsenal.
So 2 of them are making a return, the short and the long bow.
But ranged weapons work too.
So short bow and long bow are making a return. Long bow was stronger in Ghost of Tsushima. But now you have the gun, basically. It's 1600s. And it's freaking one-shots enemies. Look at that. It's way more precise than I thought it would be from that distance. But look at that. Combat-wise, looks roughly the same as before. The difference now with the enemy is that besides the new attacks and the fact that it's a samurai and probably difficult defeat, it dodges away and switches to a different weapon.
Dual swords are best.
So going back from the katana it wielded, jumps back, switches, and instantaneously goes in on attack. So that is going to be the main difficulty increase to the enemies. The fact that he can switch those weapons on the fly, and you can never expect what they do next. Maybe they have like you have 5 enemies, one of them has a spear and a katana, maybe another one has a KhrazeGaming and a spear. So you kind of have to make even more decisions on the fly compared to just reacting to the type of enemy that you had before. But dude, is there an online mode? I'm gonna answer the questions in just a little bit, guys. Just give me a second because I'm going crazy over this footage right here. This is the companion, and let me show you, if you missed it,
she'll meet several allies.
You can bring it in the duel mode with you. You can bring the wolf in the duel mode and do double takedowns. Look at this. Going in, waiting for the perfect moment to strike, but check this out. The dog, the wolf, is taking on another target. So what happens if you release the triangle at the correct moment? Boom! Double freaking headshot. Right on the money. This is gonna be so freaking fun, and apparently it's only one of the companions. We're gonna have more companions than just the wolf.
She'll meet several allies on her hunt.
Several allies, according to the games director, I think. So I'm losing my mind over this, dude. The fact that they implemented that wolf from Ghost of Tsushima Legends, but in a much better way in Yotei, is so crazy to me. It was just a gimmick mechanic in Legends mode. So yeah, what else have they done? I think that another thing they've done is to exploration.
But we think the best way to play.
So this is one of the things I love about, you know, like making the better AC game.
We think the best way to
they
play.
They made the scanner mode from AC, but put it in here. Except that you don't see enemy outlines. You just have the spyglass, which is gonna make things easier for you to mark things you want to go to. So this is a completely new feature that should help exploration a ton. So large pagoda gives you information about it. Yamane Bluffs shows you the region. Also, the orientation on the maps. This is south-southeast. So you will know the direction, the location, and whatever you're pointing towards, which is really sweet.
That's right.
And I mean, can I just say that this biome over here looks absolutely stunning? Can I just say that some of the new weather effects and like all of the vegetation and the freaking fog on the mountain just makes the game look so beautiful. Like imagine this on your big screen TV playing on a PS5 Pro. Even though I'm not seeing much happening besides some of the birds and whatnot, I'm still having some of the complaints with the open world, but at least there's creatures, a lot more creatures now. We had birds before, but like it feels a lot more alive than before. Though I would have preferred maybe some I don't know, humans, like I don't know, chopping the trees or whatever. Maybe some merchants, but it is what it is. It looks really good for now. I'm loving this. Aesthetic wise, one of the coolest looking games. Like this is the type of graphics that normally doesn't age that easy. So this is one of the zones. More creatures, more biomes. There's like bigger areas. One of the things they talked about.
It's not about checking it all off. It's about engaging.
Did you see that?
It's about engaging in the.
We have mini games, more mini games than before. So we have paintings. We had these in AC Shadows. If you played AC Shadows, kind of like that as well. We have this in my country as well, by the way, a form of this. It looks really, probably every country has some kind of form of this, but it looks pretty cool. A lot of first-person perspective mini games in Yotei compared to the first game. First game that didn't even have any first-person games.
In the content that gets you.
Of course, bamboo cutting is back, so my fingers are gonna be very pissed about this, but it's going to increase our damage, or at least I think it's going to give us. It gave us a bunch of.
Embrace that
upgrades
and let the wind
for the weapons.
guide you on your hunt.
I think it was those like adrenaline or whatever it is called in this game. It's been a minute remembering the full name.
Or dual swords.
So
you choose a
all of the four is the katana, the spear, sarigama,
odachi,
and the odachi,
or dual swords.
And the dual swords.
Each
that is a good selection, I would say. But one thing that I think will help a ton with quality of life, but we're gonna see that in just a little bit, but I'm glad that they added the camping feature. So now we can rest. And I guess
camping under the stars is a great way to rest up, play your shaman.
Yeah, so instead of having the flute, you have this instrument, and you can play some of the songs that you unlocked.
Or cook.
Cooking, this is a very interesting one. I wonder what kind of buffs we get from cooking, because it says, if it wasn't in, why is it in German, dude? Hold up, let me put it in English. Like, why is it in German? I don't even speak German, dude. Well, maybe a bit. Or cook to get ready for a fight ahead. So cooking apparently gives us some buffs, and with those buffs, maybe we get more HP. Maybe there are different buffs to damage.
Important characters and upgrades straight to you.
But this so designed to get the characters and their upgrades straight to you. So if you have like a blacksmith, he just visits you like that.
In fact, in place of the journal menu from Ghost of Tsushima, we've opted for a more character-driven way of managing
Yeah, and this was the mechanic I was talking about in terms of quality of life. The fact that you can now see the characters visually, and also if they have new upgrades for you, this is going to be a game changer, dude. You're not going to miss out on upgrades because you can just go in the Wolfpack menu, check out all of the people you have unlocked over here, and you will know if they have a mission or an upgrade for you or anything new that you can go ahead and grab, which is really interesting.
Atsu grows to have her own.
So I think at some point it presses on this. Okay, so Meta as a stranger in need of help, but nothing could be further from the truth. He's a one-man army and expert with the Kusarigama. So maybe he's the guy who actually teaches us the Kusarigama or gives us more bonuses. Yeah, there's a loneliness in him. Yeah, whatever. There's a backstory, but I have done as Master Inmono said. I should return to his dojo on Owl Mountain to continue my training. So probably this is how we're going to further unlock more abilities for the Kusarigama, get better at it, I guess. I don't know, maybe there's stances in the end. We're gonna have to dissect it piece by piece, but it's gonna be difficult with a YouTube player.
Have a weapon skill for you, or when a vendor has something unique to sell.
And yeah, if it's a vendor instead, we can see the map, by the way. This is how big it is. Is it how big it is? We can see their locations on the map. So when it clicks on it, this is up north. So this is the map, basically. I think that this is the whole map of Ghost of Yotei. So a portion of the northern part of
you can keep track of when a sensei might have a weapon
of Japan, I guess.
Or when a vendor has something unique to sell.
Maybe I'm not sure if there's gonna be more,
upgrades,
but
resources,
from the looks of it, we can also maybe fast travel from here because there's a button prompt.
Wolfpack. Here
there's a square button prompt, so maybe there's fast travel. Who knows?
Campsites. Members.
We did have an upgrade screen right around here, so I want to see this. I want to see what we have new at the vendors. Charm of True Aim. The Yumi locks onto to an enemy and fires one arrow, inflicting massive damage. Defeat enemies with a Yumi using the Charm of True Aim, which is going to give us more power levels. Wow, that is actually really good. So, did we upgrade this the same way before in Ghost of Tsushima? Does anybody remember how we upgraded those charms in Ghost of... Because I think we had to find Fox Dance to unlock more charm levels, like better upgrades for the charms. Like dude, it's been a while. It was at the shrines. I may be misremembering, but we do have a few of them. It seems that all of them, well, some of them are making a comeback. So Charm of Hachiman is making a comeback. Charm of Amaterasu was one of the best early on options, is making a comeback. What was this even giving? I think it was something relating to... Yeah, it restores a moderate amount of HP. So Charm of Amaterasu was really useful early on because you could sustain your HP a bit more. Charm of Hachiman, I think it was the pre-order one from Ghost of Tsushima or the deluxe edition. I can't really remember. But there's new ones like Mother's Charm, Raining Arrows. I think this may imply we have Rain of Arrows as a skill.
Perfect.
Probably.
For building up Atsu.
Obviously, lots of skins, you know, endgame is fashion, baby, so we're gonna be doing a lot of this Odachi skins, Kusarigama skins, like how we hunted for armor sets,
stealth, range,
and all of the bandanas and all of the helmet pieces. Look at this. Charm of Masakado. Okay. In terms of everything I'm seeing here, it seems we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It seems we have the same number of charms as before, or was it 5? Wait, max charm slots in Ghost of Tsushima. Does anybody remember how many we had? It was 6 if I remember correctly, because the UI looks around the same as before. We just have the weapons. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 new weapons. 4 actually, because we have the throwables with the hand as well. We also have the quick fire now. I think it was ghost tools before. So it seems that all of the previous ones make a return. Kunai, smoke bombs, or this is smoke. No, this is actually the dust, and this is the smoke bomb. And this right here is setting your sword ablaze. This was a really good damage dealer in the first game. You would absolutely blast their enemies.
And combine the
So 3 major charm slots.
pieces that are
Yeah, there you go. Parries, perfect parries, and perfect dodges are easier to perform. So this is literally, we had a charm like that in Ghost of Tsushima, right? It was, what was the name of the charm, dude? I even made a video about it. Let me just remember, because we had a name for it. What was the freaking name? Charm of Mizuno Kami, dude. That was the one. It was one of the first, like, top of the whatever mountain areas, which was really interesting. So Charm of Mizuno Kami is now Charm of Futsunushi, which does about the same thing, but I think that... Yeah, it's exactly the same as Mizuno Kami. That is
Just
so
right
interesting. Wait, did we just see the stances maybe
combine
there?
the pieces that are just right for you.
Oh no, because they keep hiding the UI.
And
God
of
damn it.
course, customize the
Okay.
look of your armor and
Armor
weapons.
sets, we already know about the dice and the armors. We had vendors for those.
To make sure
Even for the
that
free
your version
upgrades,
of Otsu
we had the free
looks and fights just the way you want.
perfect dodges are back. Do we have dismemberment besides using the weapon arts? No, we don't. Armors look really cool. Masks, Oni masks are coming back. It looks really cool. Straw hats. Maybe we're gonna get a Fundoshi version for the female as well. That would be interesting. Obviously, music you already saw, so or heard, and I
Through an
believe
exciting
the songs were
If you like
top
what you
notch,
heard,
dude.
we're releasing 2 tracks featured in today's State
You
of
can
Play.
even hear them. You can probably get them
If
on
you
whatever
like what you
streaming
heard,
platform you're
we're
on.
releasing 2 tracks
What are
featured in
these
today's
guys
State
though?
of Heard.
Is this
We're
like some
releasing
kind of new duel?
Back and go.
Yeah, speaking of duel, let's check out the new bounty system. Now we have bounties, ladies and
game that
gents.
lets you drive
And
your
God, I
own
hope there's an infinite
experiences.
amount of those.
Whether that's
Like
your-
maybe
if you
radiant
interrogate
bounties, I don't know.
tactics to study. If you interrogate an enemy, choosing to ask about the Oni,
Oh, we can
that
interrogate
invite you
enemies
to
now.
new
Oh my
adventures
God,
and
dude,
new
this is a
areas of the
game
that
changer.
could be appealing to you.
Put him on his
If you
back.
interrogate an enemy, choosing to ask about the Oni, you could
And you can choose to ask about the Oni, so it's what, like one of the 6, right? Or no? Alrighty then, so I think that this is just a...
uncover a landscape scarred by fire with more bold samurai.
I don't really know what that is for just yet. Hold up, we have the UI menu here. Scorch bomb. Okay, this is the bomb from before. So
And
probably early game.
abilities for Otsu to learn. Or do you ask about the Kitsune might lead you to an area filled with
Wait,
snow
wait, hold on. What?
and ability to invite
So-
you to new adventure world game that lets you drive your own experiences. Whether that's your curiosity to wonder, your thirst.
Okay,
for
so you can
combat, or-
choose one of the interrogations to bring you to an enemy camp and maybe search for somebody important, or search for an upgrade.
A deep desire to stay focused on the story. As you explore, there's an underlying clue system.
Okay, so these are the clues. You're going to discover them by talking to people or going out
That
exploring.
invite you to new adventures in new areas of the game that could be appealing to you. If you interrogate an enemy, choosing to ask about the Oni, you could uncover a landscape scarred by fire with more bold samurai-like enemies to fight and abilities for Otsu to learn.
Okay, yeah, now I get it. So if you interrogate him about the Oni, so that Oni is basically some character in the world, some powerful samurai. And if you defeat him, that's basically how you're gonna learn some of the abilities, kind of like in the first game, but it was a bit more straightforward over there.
Or do you
So we can see here that this is going to, if we go and choose the Kitsune, get the clue about the Kitsune, we're gonna get the KhrazeGaming. But in the first version, when asking about the Oni, this would give you the new weapon Yari, which is basically the spear. So I guess that you could interrogate multiple people and go with the Yari first, or go with the KhrazeGaming first,
cover a landscape
or whatever
scarred by
weapon you
fire
want.
with more bold
But this is going to bring you to a sort of challenge, a sort of mission, at the end of which you're going to have a boss fight,
samurai-like
a
enemies to
tougher
fight
boss fight, I
and
would imagine, because we see a lot of
abilities
enemies,
to learn.
like you're storming
Or do you
a
ask about
castle or enemy outpost or whatnot. And it shows you the location as well where you will find it. So it reveals the location on the map and shows you exactly what you get.
Kitsune might lead you to an area filled with snow and deception, enemies that ambush you.
Oh, that was clean, lewd. I talked about new enemy mechanics. Check this out. Check this out. I hope you're ready to play some whack-a-mole. Hold up.
Filled with snow.
Okay, check, like, look at this. It's gonna go in a second right now. But look, boom, from the freaking snow, they just pop up like that. That is so freaking awesome. I cannot wait to get ambushed by these guys. I'm already playing a game that kind of has an annoying mechanic relating to snow. You're gonna find out about it at the end of this month. But dude, this is
Do you ask about the Kitsune?
Yeah,
might lead you to
I
an
want
area
this right
filled with
now.
Snow and deception, enemies that ambush you. and
Enemies can
ninja-like
ambush you and use
tactics.
deception against you. That is what I'm talking about. There were a few fights like that, but mostly with like big characters. Find Ishikari's plane in the golden foothills. Okay, so this is the clue that we just got. So the clues are actually stored. The man who tried to burn me alive is in Ishikari Plain, new explorable region Ishikari Plain, which is up north.
Draws cards for each clue
So travel to the Red Crane Inn.
to keep track of all available adventures. The more you play, the more the game unfolds. for
Oh,
you.
so this is how we're gonna unlock those
As she
missions.
makes
That is
progress
really
against
nice
the
to see.
Yotei 6, her legend as the Onryo grows.
Okay.
It's her.
Bounty will go up, drawing the attention of deadlier foes.
Okay, so as you commit these well, let's just say as you fight and get notoriety, like the ghost mode in the first game, the reputation system, it was always odd that your reputation increased in Ghost of Tsushima, but the only thing that unlocked was just more skills, but the world didn't react too much around you. So it was mostly related to the story, and maybe some enemies would get scared because at that point you were at that specific ghost level. But now you actually get a bounty on your head, and you're going to attract attention from others. So I hope that this happens dynamically, not just story or mission related. I hope you go out in the open world, maybe go to a place that's filled with bandits, and they will be like, "Oh, so this is the chick who's been killing us, eh?"
Are you lost?
I'm looking for some old friends.
This is when you go in the wrong neighborhood.
Show her the door.
Oh, yeah. See? I want that, but
There is a
dynamically.
hefty price on Atsu's head. Now, Atsu can also hunt down her own
So there is going to be a bounty system on your head, kind of like a reversed wanted level, because you're going to be hunted by other
bounties that
bandits, I
bring her
guess, or
all
who
around the
knows.
land.
And they show the Sakai clan armor helmet. Yeah, dude, the good catch.
This is a lucrative way.
Hold up. A murderer who lures in the weary at a campsite. Okay, so we basically get Radiant Quest. This is what this is. Almost. So you get a bounty board. You get in some details about them. Tells you where they were previously near this specific location. And you get 650 of the currency.
To make some money.
So you can take out multiple bounties, which you're going to always want because you're going to be exploring all over the place. So this was for the black powder Ippei, who likes throwing black powder at you. I can already sense a lot of people dying at this place. So it should be easy to dodge. from the looks of it. He has a mortar gun, dude. Mortar around those times. That's pretty crazy. Boom, taken care of. Cut from the list and get the money. So yeah, another bounty. This was another bounty actually. It wasn't. It was a duel, but it was a bounty and a duel. So Crow Genzo.
You're here for my bounty.
Yeah. It's a duel. We had a ton of these in the first game, and man, I loved the duels. The one-on-one duels were absolutely amazing. Also new traversal mechanic, the slide. I'm gonna miss a couple of these. I can already tell. They didn't change much in terms of the grappling hook mechanics and physics. They still look about the same.
Of reflection. Finding one inspires.
And it seems that the shrines are making a return.
Unlocks a new ability.
The altar, of course.
On the journey ahead.
So you bow to the altar, and sometimes you get like very strong. What was it called? Dude, it's late in the in the night for me. But yeah, you basically got the charms. So looking at this, we have this screen right here with attacks, assassination, and survival. Yet again, we have a skill tree. Thing about Ghost of Tsushima skill trees is that you had different skill trees for, you know, like different weapons, had different skill trees, different tools also had a bit of a skill tree system going on over there as well. So here we have perfect parry an attack at the last second to slow time and perform a counter attack, earn moderate amount of spirit. I'm pretty sure that this was exactly the first thing we had in the skill tree for Jin as well.
They are fun to find on their
disarm, but we have disarm counter now. So this is the new mechanic that's added here. Instead of like whatever upgrade we had before, we now focus attacks will disarm enemies performing a yellow glint attack, earn spirit on successful disarm. And spirit is of course the same adrenaline mechanic as before. Hold and release triangle to disarm. So if they perform a yellow glint attack, we can actually disarm them with the perfect parry.
But for a quicker route, you can always buy a traveler's map from the cartographer.
And yeah, the traveler's map, cartographer, that is a good quality of life feature. And it seems that it shows some of the points of interest nearby, though you can probably see them quite easily. Yep. I'm glad they mentioned her needing to fight dirty. Would make sense with her size. Absolutely. I mean, that was the case in the first game. You would notice that the ghost mode was just much more efficient than the samurai mode, and you would play samurai if you really like either got a good build nailed down or got some mechanic to take advantage of. Like if you were really spot on with the perfect parries. That's how I played the majority of my first playthrough, and I loved it. But then did another playthrough focusing on ghost mode. So yeah, this just shows you how you can seamlessly blend all of this in one single gameplay. Change skill tree on left hand side of the screen. It was like more center, right, in the first game. I'm almost like ready to boot up the first game. Actually, I think it should be centered. It's just because this appears right here. It's going to go back to the center. Wait, hold up. What did they change? So you do parry with L1. Was it the same before? I think it was the same before. Then triangle or circle to counter attack. I think it was the same before. I may be misremembering, but who cares?
Not about checking it all off. It's about engaging.
It's a weapon.
What else did they show? What else did they show? They obviously showed quite a bit. I think somebody mentioned that they shown the Sakai clan. Oh, dude, Tadayori. Just saw Tadayori armor. Hold up.
Are you stealth, range?
We got the Tadayori armor, or at least the helmet back. Well, I think it's a pretty common helmet, or well, hat. I think it was whatever, but it was part of the Tadayori set as well, and it looks rather similar, but not really.
Or melee.
Some new armor designs. Where's
and combine the
Where's the
pieces that are
Sakai
just
clan
right
armor?
for you. And of course, customize the look of your armor and weapons to make sure that your version of Atsu looks
Maybe even a bit of
and
like
fights
samurai clan armor with
just
the,
the way
like
you want.
no, actually that was different. This kind of reminds me of the set in Iki Islands. We got a similar looking like crazy helmet, but it's probably different. Ghost armor, anybody? Anybody remember when you got to the second
Just the
region
way
and got the ghost armor? Kind of looks a bit like that. Not really. I think that the chest is different. It's just that it has the mask. Let me just see how it used to look like. Is there any high quality screenshot of this so I can see? Yeah, so there are some similarities, but it's missing the cape. It still has the shoulders, but it's a different material. And yeah, it's kind of has a different vibe. So it's not like completely ghost armor. It's not the same. But there are some really cool looking ones nonetheless. This was it, wasn't it? Kind of looks like it. Is this? Let me see. Almost samurai clan armor, but not really. But almost. It's just that the head is obviously different. It needs to have a big semi-moon.
The score of Ghost of Yotei. The show.
Yeah. To be honest, I'm most excited to see the photo mode again. Photo mode in this game, in the first game, made things so easy for
The digital
screenshots
photography community
and,
for Ghost
and
of
for
Tsushima
thumbnails,
is incredible.
for thumbnail reasons. Did they add anything new? I think it's the same. You can still change the time of day like in the first game. Ooh, wait, why is there a bear in this shot? Did the bear come of its own accord? Or was it at its...
Have photo mode back and Ghost
like
of Yotei
toggling
and
on
look
extra
forward to seeing
characters. That bear, that bear is about to wreck some stuff up. So I'm glad to see that, well, bears obviously are making a return. I hope that we get more predators. We had bears and another creature, right? We had boars as well, I believe. Like the fauna was really forgettable besides the bears, because some of the farming spots included bears. Oh, and the wolves, I think.
We want playing through
Do
Ghost
I
of
remember
Yotei to
correctly?
feel like stepping inside of your favorite classic.
Why do I remember like fighting wolves, but I may be wrong. Oh, of course. First playthrough, probably Japanese mode. Not gonna lie.
Samurai Cinema emulates his classic Kurosawa's estate for Kurosawa mode, which
What do these horses even do, by the way?
his classic.
Like, do we get to capture a horse? Is there gonna be a capturing minigame and hopefully hunt for some good stats? I would love some RNG mechanics on that. I don't know why, but ever since Red Dead Redemption, I absolutely love the idea of hunting for good horses.
For Ghosts of Yotei, we wanted to celebrate two other influential directors who have had an impact on the
Yeah.
genre as a whole.
Okay, wow.
First, with
Did he just...
with
Hold
two
up,
other
did he just
influential directors who have
dismember
had an
that guy
impact
with a
on the
regular
genre as a
attack, or
whole.
was it with a follow-up of the parry? Let me see. So I think this is a weapon skill, like how we used to do the one that did like the thunder thingy one. I forgot the name of it. God damn it, I forgot the legend, the legendary tail attacks. I need to enter the game again. But yeah.
First, we've partnered with Takeshi
Yeah, look at that beautiful, clean cut.
Miike, director of 13 Assassins.
Absolutely nice. Low health heal with arrow down button,
that
same
puts
as
the camera
before.
closer during
kept saying the orange attack button, but I'm seeing the same blue M before. Okay.
Splatter. And lastly, we've partnered with the director of Samurai Champloo.
Yeah, lo-fi mode sounds really interesting. I'm gonna need a PS5 Pro. I haven't bought one yet, so this may be the perfect time to actually grab one. Didn't find a need for it. They did show one thing I forgot to mention, and it just skipped my mind for a second over there. Wait, Sakai clan armor right here? Is this the one you were talking about? It kind of has the horns similar. Sakai clan armor here over, and also I think this is the ghost one. And everything else is like just probably something that well, there are many similarities with the first game anyway.
Mashup. Photography community.
What did I want to check out? There was one more thing I wanted to check out.
Raw experience.
Yeah, it was the ghost mode when it jumps and does a lot of assassinations.
And last, first,
where is that?
Raw experience.
Yeah, I think it was right here when it does the assassinations. I think that's Jin was doing some better assassinations at the end of Iki Island, like throwing the kunais and whatnot, but
He looks like the one in charge.
Tonight.
okay, you can also use the binoculars to, well, the spyglass to also reveal information from afar. That's good. And assassination mode is back. But somehow, I mean, she still does a similar attack, but I'm not sure how these guys are not hearing anything. She does a lot of rolling, it seems, to perform assassinations. Jin was kind of running towards the characters. And then if you had the build for it from Iki Island, you would also throw a kunai, so you could possibly take down 5 enemies.
Blades are great, but ranged weapons work too. And Atsu's got
I do wonder if we're gonna get a Tadayori build. I would really love it. For like, if anybody remembers the Tadayori build we made before in Ghost of Tsushima and how strong it was by the end of Legends, maybe the longbow, but maybe now the musket will be like the top gun, you know? Heavenly Sword. Jay, thank you so much for letting me know. Like, I am pretty sure we can probably make, because there's no way they added all these weapons and not have at least some kind of builds, charms, and abilities to buff them in one way or another. And I'm kind of already thinking, are they going to make it possible for us to create a build for the musket or whatever it is called? And it kind of get you can't really get bullets back like how you could for the longbow. I'm kind of dreaming here for the build, but I'm just gonna shut up because we don't know what it does until it's in our hands. The perfect parries are just as strong as before. There you go. Boom. Cut. They also said that the double blades are better against enemies with spears. So this is interesting. Assuming that you have these weapons and we don't have the stances, I would imagine that now you have to pay attention to the actual weapon of the enemy rather than just the enemy itself. So if it's a big enemy but with a spear, probably I wonder how would these interact with it, because we just saw the large enemy was not really great. If you had double swords, you would have to switch to the larger one. So what if it's a large enemy with a spear? Like, what do you use then? These seem to be very strong against this guy. Like, Inokichi the Hungry. Butayaru. Freaking funny, dude. I can't wait to get my hands on this game. Look at that. And there, okay, yeah, we do have guys with Kusarigama. Just saw it. Obviously, that was implied by the fact that others had the spears too, but Kusarigama Yeah, looks nice.
And it's about
one more thing I want to
precision.
see is how she gets disarmed. So she can lose the weapon. Was it in this scene? Yeah, that is the yellow glow they were talking about. So this is the one that you can prepare for to disarm them.
He swings hard.
And yeah, the yellow one is the one that disarms your character. So it falls on the ground.
Atsu can lose her weapon.
What happens if all of your weapons get disarmed? Do you just fight bare knuckles? Atsu can lose her weapon, but probably only everything besides the katana. But she's not a samurai, so she could still use the katana as well.
She's quick, she can disarm them.
Oh, nice drop kick, baby.
Atsu can lose her weapon. But if she's
so in this case, KhrazeGaming has that sweep attack, which normally this kind of attack is really good at entangling the weapons. So KhrazeGaming is the go-to weapon to disarm enemies. With the long chain and the ball,
she can disarm.
You hit them. Well, in this case, it deals damage as well and kind of passes through them, but it normally gets to entangle either in their armor or in their weapon, and you can just disarm them like that. Like in this case, it seems to be more instantaneous, more simple. So you just smack him and it falls out of his hand or flies out. Drop kicking, another disarm mechanic. Boom, swords flying. Dude, how cool would it be if it was physics based and the sword falls on the target?
And for Lee.
Wait, where was it? He's buffering a little bit too much.
You can lose her weapon. But if she's quick,
so how cool would it be? Because
disarm.
right here for a split second, the sword falls all the way back. Perfectly freaking vertical. Okay, never mind. It was with the handle down. But how cool would it be if it fell in the enemy? That would be really nice. I'm asking a little bit for too much. Alrighty then. I think that pretty much covers most of the big details we've seen. Besides everything that's quite noticeable, obviously, and easy to understand. Story-wise, I'm intrigued, but maybe not quite as intrigued as for the first game. I think that the story with the Mongol invasion maybe attracted me a bit more because it was such high stakes. But I still think that this has the potential to be really interesting. Like, they definitely seem to have put a lot of effort to tell the story. I'm also seeing some Sakai-ish, but maybe it's just whatever. That was the style.
And with each victory,
I wonder if there's gonna be a Sakai clan in this. I would not imagine there is, but you can always dream of some Easter eggs.
Ghost of Yotei focuses on player freedom more than any
Draw
game
distance
Sucker
looks
Punch has
nice.
ever made. But it's
Even
also
though
a game
it is
that at its heart
4K,
is
but
inspired by so many of our favorite wandering samurai films.
yeah,
So let's
looks
start off
nice.
by
This
talking
is
about-
probably at the start of the game. You finish the tutorial, and I imagine this is the big reveal. You see the mountain, you see your first camp. So they use the white smoke trails once again to tell you there's a point of interest over there, and black smoke as well for where there's going to be conflict. So this probably begins a mission or introduces you to a character. This is going to be probably some enemy camp.
Exploration.
Very interesting to see that there aren't big smoke screens like in the first game with a Mongol base and like the lumber mill
of Japan. We all have different playstyles, so we set out to make an open
yeah,
world
see,
game.
there's somebody over there, somebody over here. Yeah, there's a
lets you
smaller
drive
town
your
there
own
or
experiences,
whatever.
Whether that's your curiosity.
Yeah, but no big smoke trails like how it was in the first game, where you would know there's a huge enemy
wonder,
encampment.
Your thirst for combat, or
Boom.
a deep desire to stay focused on the story.
Yeah, I think that this pretty much
As you explore,
covers
there's an
most of the things.
underlying clue system.
Okay, character going in the background. If I remember correctly, in the first game, when you would give it a mission, oftentimes they would just like... Would they go? Would they leave somewhere, or would they just stay in place and the cutscene ends? Because we're seeing that character is going in the distance. I wonder if we can chase it down and I don't know, do something nasty.
Ambush you, and new ninja-like tactics
Yeah.
to study.
Right. That's about it. So far, gameplay-wise, did not disappoint. I'm even more hyped about this game than I've ever been. I knew it was gonna be something I'm gonna be interested in just because the combat is really fun, but
It's about
they exceeded my expectations for the fact that they've implemented so many weapons. We're gonna see weapon arts hopefully in some future gameplay reveals, but for now I'm impressed with the fact that we have so many diverse play styles. So this should make things a lot more interesting. While still familiar, because I imagine the longbow and the bow will play roughly the same. The short bow will probably be...
Opted for a more you can keep track.
Yeah. About the same as it was before. But yeah, that is pretty much it with the video, with the coverage of Ghost of Yotei. 20 minutes of gameplay, which you should totally check out once again if you haven't. Or if you're watching this video as it's getting... published from live to video. It's fun. It's fun. We'll see if we end up enjoying or loving the character or not. It seems that they're putting some emphasis on her background as well, like how they did with the childhood of Jin Sakai, but we're gonna wait and see for that. For now, highly impressed. So yeah, thank you guys so much, and I'll see you